Okay, guys, it's been a minute. Recently, Shroom has inspired me, I guess you could say, to make this deck, but some of the ideas come from his Esper Clarion Control, which is an amazing deck. It's a great deck to play, very good in the current meta. Not very good, I mean, it is more mid-rangey, but it is quite fun. I'll put it to you that way, because it counters a lot of things because of the Clarion Conqueror. But he also made a recent Jeskai bird dragon deck, which looked pretty interesting. So I borrowed a few cards from that. Although I did like this is really its own thing, and it's its own thing because I've been wanting to use this card for a very long time, but I never felt like there was a way to really get it get it to work. So with the Clarion Control stuff, it's made me realize just how good Clarion Control or Clarion Conqueror is, and this kind of allows them to not be able to use the treasure tokens, but on your turn 3, most likely you'll be able to use your treasure token. And in a Jeskai or any sort of tricolor deck, having a treasure token on turn 3 is extremely, extremely valuable. Like, it just helps your mana base so much. So even if you only get to use your treasure on turn 3, or just like one treasure, you get a lot of value out of it, and they don't really get to use their treasure tokens at all because of your Clarion Conqueror. So with that in mind, this means that Get Lost is extremely... I mean, it's just a good card, but it's even better with Clarion Conqueror. And an offer you can't refuse is a 1-mana protect your stuff from board wipes, from any sort of specific targeting, and give them 2 treasure tokens, which they can't use. This is a very, very good spell. And and on top of that, because they have these tokens, these map tokens, and these treasure tokens, and treasure tokens from here, this guy's going to deal so much damage to them based on his secondary effect of he'll do damage based on how many artifacts they have. Which, by the way, I ran into quite a few decks that were doing the Is It Artifact TMNT stuff, and so I've seen that played quite a bit. This guy just does so much damage to those guys, and the menace on him is really good. We have a fire magic to clear out like the 1/1s, like the that black flyer that creates 1/1 tokens, and quite a few other artifact 1/1s from the Is It artifact deck, and the Lifegain decks. It's pretty valuable. Burst lightning to make sure that we can kill the little dudes, but also be able to hit face. There's a lot of games where, not a lot, but probably like 2 or 3 games where out of maybe a dozen, where this did win the game. Like just dealing an extra 2 damage to face is really good. Flood Maws to get those really big, high-value creatures if you can't kill them with your burst, and you weren't able to counterspell them. If you don't have a Get Lost in your hand, this is just so good to just push out you push back a 3 or a 4 mana creature, and just for 1 mana you're just dealing with them. And these 1 mana cards are really important because, like I said, we're a Jeskai deck, so just the very early game, just the way the meta is right now is so important. So if someone comes out with like a that lion that gets tokens, gets counters based on life gain, and they shelter by ghost it, you can just target this thing, push it back out. That's a huge thing, just to be able to counter a sheltered by ghost or some other big effect that could take out your Generous Plunderer or your Clarion Conqueror. But most of the time, this card right here is usually going to be used in unison to protect Clarion Conqueror. Sometimes it can be a little bit risky to use to protect Plunderer or any other card, but if they're down on cards, it doesn't really matter how many treasure tokens they have. So just keep that in mind. This card is actually a very good card. I think it's a very fair card too. It lets your opponent make decisions off of it and stuff like that. A lot of times people will just get so greedy, and these treasure tokens will stack up and they won't activate them, even without Clarion Conqueror. They won't activate them because they think this isn't going to do that much damage, but it ends up doing a lot of damage. So people get very greedy. So even if they have all of these treasure tokens that are being built up, you still have like a 4 mana counterspell, a 3 mana counterspell, or they have to pay 3 and 4, I mean. You have this guy, which gives a creature hexproof, so if they try to get lost, your Clarion Conqueror or something like that, you can give it hexproof, and now you have a 2/1 flyer that can attack back on your turn because this thing has flash. Every little bit of damage like that really piles up. And then I added a Lynx, which I haven't actually used yet. This was after all the games that I played. I ended up adding a Lynx because I just think it's a better value creature than what I had. We have a lot of different lands, as you can tell. So a lot of non-basics. We only have 3 basics in this entire land. So this could potentially just like kill them. I mean, technically this could kill them. You know, we have 24 lands, 21 of them are non-basic. So, I mean, technically it could kill a full life guy. Obviously that's not going to happen, but it can get a lot of damage in. And like I said, in order to deal with the life gain decks, it's nice to have something that can counter life gain. And this also helps our strategy not get countered because damage can't be prevented, right? This is going to be non-combat damage. There was a deck that ran that the one white 1 mana artifact where it stops you from doing non-combat damage to the player. So that would counter this card, except, you know, this would counter that card instead. So I noticed that would help, so I put it in. Haven't gotten to use it. Rediscover the Way is a little clunky sometimes because on 3 mana it can feel a little bad to use, but against control decks it's very, very useful. The double strike actually got to pop off a few times, especially with Hellkite. You know, you warp this guy in for 3, maybe you do a demand answers or, you know, a burst, and now all of a sudden you're doing 8 damage to face, most likely because of the haste and the flying. Also, just the deal 1 damage to like a little 1/1 can be really valuable. And River Regent's mostly just for card draw. Sometimes you'll be able to like actually full cast it to get permanents off the board, but usually you're just going to be using this for card draw. Sometimes not. You could maybe go down on one of these because you really want cheaper stuff. This deck really thrives with cheaper things. Just because you really want to keep your Plunderers alive. Your Plunderers are like the main damage dealer, but so are your Flyers as well. We have 1 Hellkite. Reason being we have 1 Hellkite is a couple reasons. It's nice to be able to slow your opponent down when you're giving them treasure tokens, right? In case you don't get a Conqueror out on the board, or they just instantly kill it and you didn't have mana to protect it, it can be nice to just get a land off, slow them down a little bit, because you are ramping them up, right? If they're able to use their treasure tokens, you could get into trouble. So just being able to slow them down a little bit. You have a 4/5 flyer. That's a pretty good threat. And, you know, it can also just maybe end up getting double striked, or being given double strike. So I think it's pretty good. Just a way to deal with lands that's also a threat. And because we're only running 1 demo field, I don't really like running that many colorless lands in try or more color decks. I just find that you know, I don't know if it's arena or just my luck, but I just find sometimes if I put like 2-3 demo fields or fountain ports or something like that in my deck, in a tri-color deck or even a double color deck, the game will just give me like they'll start me off with a hand of like 3 demo fields. Whoops. They'll start me off with a hand of 3 demo fields, and it's super, super annoying. So I've just gotten so scared of that. Maybe it's just superstition, but I think genuinely just 1 is good. And yeah, I don't think... So as far as sideboard goes, this is almost just a direct 1-to-1 copy of one of Shroom's latest decks, as of this video being uploaded. It was like made in the past week, couple days. Reason being is it just kind of matches what we want to do, right? We need like cheap stuff. We kind of just need a cheap sideboard to deal with, you know, various different things. A null is good sometimes, you know, like people, if they're casting a lot of enchantments, you know, or artifacts, that's really good. You know, really good to counter Sheltered by Ghost and, you know, other things like that. Seam Rips just to deal with like little threats that your fire magic and your burst might not be able to deal with immediately, or if you just don't have them. But it's also pretty flexible to also deal with enchantments. Exercise, again, enchantments. Most of the time, you're not really going to be targeting artifacts unless you absolutely need to. You actually want them to have artifacts because your Conqueror is just going to make most of their artifacts useless, and then your Plunderer is going to take advantage of that and just deal a crap load of damage to them as well. So you really don't want to target artifacts. This is mostly just against enchantments, or in the case where you just really need to deal with big threats, and you definitely don't want them to go to your graveyard. You know, this can help. Rest in Peace against graveyard decks. We could do a third one, but I think 2 is usually enough, and I just don't happen to have a third one anyway. So I just put a Tidebinder in place of a Rest in Peace. I think this creature could just, you know, there's some creatures that or permanents, I should say, that like if they stay on the board, they can cause a lot of problems. So some enchantments maybe that if you weren't able to counter them, stuff like that, or maybe a creature that Conqueror can't deal with. It's just nice to have that sort of flexibility. And again, it's just a 3/2 threat. It has flash. Flash spells are really cool in decks like this, just to make sure you're always capable of like using your resources efficiently. Lightning Helix, again, just to deal with threats. The life gain's also good because you're probably not going to be blocking a whole lot with this deck, so you really just need to make sure you counterspell and just immediately eliminate your opponent's stuff. You don't really want, like, if they have a good board state, this deck probably just loses. You don't really have, like, there's really no big Day of Judgment or Ultima or something like that. So we just have our Fire Magics to deal with, like, the Badger. Although, here's the thing with the Badger deck with green. The Clarion Conqueror just owns them so hard. Like, you kind of don't want to kill their lands. You just want to keep your Conqueror alive, because then that means their lands just don't even work. So I would try to just not kill them, but sometimes you need to kill them. Sometimes you just need to immediately kill stuff on turn 1, turn 2. You don't have your Conqueror, you just got to get rid of the Badger and the lands. So Fire Magic is definitely still worth it, and just to deal with any sort of, like, token deck. Spell Pierce, this is to stop, like, board wipes, usually like a turn 4 board wipe, or, it is not that great because we are giving them treasure tokens, but it's still great so long as our Conqueror is alive. So again, this deck is very, very, like, leans hard on getting value out of the Conqueror, and leans very much in the direction of keeping the Conqueror alive. It's, like, essential. And other than that, I think that is pretty much it. I forgot to bring up Demand Answers is a great way to use your treasure tokens if Conqueror's out, so that way you still get value out of the treasure tokens that you're being given from the Generous Plunderer. So and also, even if you don't like have the treasure tokens out, or you can't use them, this is still just a good card to just kind of filter through our stuff and make sure we're not getting too many lands or something like that. Make sure we're trying to get the right stuff. Get Lost, people are going to get lost your Conqueror a lot, so if you can't counter it, and your Conqueror dies, this is still a good way to get value out of those map tokens. I would also throw in the Is It Creature land over maybe a Thundering Falls or maybe a Verge, honestly. That might be too many creature lands, like too many tapped lands, but I do think that creature land it's so cheap. It's only 1 red, 1 blue to get the creature as a 2/1 first striker, and it gives you Scry when it attacks. I wouldn't really mind my opponent, I don't think, eliminating that card in a lot of situations. Like, if they have to spend a removal to eliminate a 2/1 threat, that is actually really good for us, because that means that's less removal for our main cards, which, like I said, Plunderer and Conqueror, you just really want to keep them alive as much as possible. So if they want to spend, like, a burst on that instead of on my Plunderer, I'm pretty happy with that. And most likely they may not even want to do it, so that's just a 2/1 first strike. If they don't have a sufficient creature to block that, that's just extra damage for us, and we get the Scry effect to kind of go through our cards a little bit more. So that's a 2 mana Scry with a little bit of damage. I think that actually could be pretty good. Most of the time you don't really see that Is the Creature land used because it's very easy to remove, but I think it could be pretty decent, especially combined with our very cheap, very efficient counter spells, which maybe you could argue we need more of these. I think the Dispelling Exhale is very, very good in this deck. I like No More Lies just because, you do exile a card, but you could argue, and you don't need the dragon to be beheld, right? Sometimes you're just not, this deck doesn't have a load of dragons, but it's got enough of them to definitely justify 2 Dispelling Exhales. So sometimes 3 is just better than 2 because the 4 isn't possible, right? So that's why I went even on these 2/2. But you could definitely make an argument for just going 4 of the Dispelling Exhales, and then maybe dropping the links for another Hellkite or another dragon or something like that, or maybe just adding more dragons so it can be more efficient, like more likely to occur. But yeah, this deck went, like, I don't even know the score. I mean, originally it was like 7 for 7. I got a game that was like, I got totally land screwed a couple times, so I don't really, like, you kind of just wouldn't count those. My opponent also got, there's a few opponents that got land screwed as well, so I can't really, like, pretend that I went completely flawless or something. But this deck's done really well. I mean, I'm only playing in plat. Most of the decks I went up against aren't, like, super meta. Some we went against the Is It artifact stuff, and I think I went up against, like, Mono Green or Selesnya Green for a few times. So I think it's actually pretty good. Like, overall, I would say this has, like, I don't know, in best of one, it probably has something like a 80% win rate, maybe a little less. I haven't looked at the stats because I have been tweaking the deck here and there, so it's not like it's exactly the same. as it started out to be, but it was pretty similar. So I would say the best of 1 win rate's pretty high. The best of 3 win rate's also definitely in the positive. I mean, I would say I haven't played like 100 games or anything like that, but I played probably about 20. 20 if we combine best of 1 with best of 3, like 20 games, like 20 matches. So this deck's done really well. I would recommend you guys try it out. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Maybe that's just because I actually created something instead of playing someone else's deck, so I definitely encourage people to do that. It does make the game more fun. But this is a lot of rares, so I understand. I had to wait to craft my 4th Get Lost, actually, because I didn't originally have it when I started this deck, so... yeah, this is a lot of rares. If you guys have the rares and the mythics, which you probably do, this deck is quite a lot of fun, and I think it actually makes sense, and I think it plays well in the current meta. It's definitely not going to be like something super good, but it's pretty good. It's surprisingly good. think we just do this. Another land. Conqueror is not a crazy pick here. Ooh, okay. Not a big deal. Let's do another counter spell. Let's be maximally annoying. We can Dispelling Exhale if the spell's too big. Okay, double strikery. So let's do this. Let's do this. Get double strike, and we can counter this next thing if we want, and you can't use any of the treasures. So if he's trying to hit me with like an enchantment, then we just break him. Okay, discard a card. Let's I think we need more blue. I think the dual land may have been better, but I don't know. I think blue is it right now. So that's gonna make this card suck. And an offer you can't refuse when you have a Clarion Conqueror up, I mean, it's just the best counter spell in the game. It's awesome. Up to one target. Nope. Don't like it. What's this 1 mana spell he's got? Can't use it, mate. Sorry. Sorry, mate. Can't use that. Do we just, we could just wait and... yeah. Save up our counters. I think we just win right now. I think we're in a really, really good spot. I don't think he's got a board wipe, but it is possible he's got a split up. Like, these decks do run split up sometimes. I don't think this one is. I doubt it, but, you know, I'm gonna wait. I don't think we need to counter that. Okay, let's draw. Alright. Yeah, it's a creature, I like it. I'm just gonna do this because I could have done it sooner, and this is fine. If he wants to do a split up, we can counter it with a Dispelling Exhale. And now that I know I have a creature coming, I think we're kind of okay. We honestly could have put this down last turn. It would have been fine. Okay, or don't care. Okay, we also do not care. I think we demand answers on the mountain just to get our next card, and then maybe we hopefully get a plunderer. A Generous Plunderer. Okay, Steam Vents, whatever. We could just do this. Yeah, he's just staring at his treasures and he's just like, I just want to use them. just want to use my treasures, please. Good game, sir. This deck is 3 for 3 right now. 3 for 3. In Plat Tier 1. We are getting some easy decks, though. Like, facing against easier decks. Crap. Please don't have a burst. Please don't have a burst. Please don't have a burst. Okay. I guess we need card draw for removal. Cost 1 less. I mean, either way, I think we have to do this. Counterspell seems like it's pretty good. Flash seems like it's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Do we want to get lost this? Cost 1 less. So yeah, the get lost week actually. That would actually wreck us. This card's pretty good. We might have to just get lost that card already. We're taking too long to get rid of it. Okay. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage for me. That's a lot of damage. Okay, let's do this. White. Oh. Good game. I mean, talk about a great matchup for us, man. Oh my gosh. Let's look for our main stuff. Yeah, this is looking a little weird, a little wonky right now. Guess we just do demo. Then we can draw a card, discard a card. Fuck, I did the wrong thing. Just lost 2 life for no reason. Whoops. I guess we could still ditch the dude. Aang's Iceberg is actually pretty sick. We're gonna ditch it. Look for our other stuff. I think we just flash the escort in if he tries to do anything. Because I don't want to use, I don't want to give him treasure tokens. He's land struggling right now. Ooh, another removal? Yeah, this little guy's good, dude. This little bird is sick. I mean, he just got 3 turns, no land. That's rough. No, thank you. Yeah, he wants to keep the lands because he's like, look, I need these lands. I need them. These treasures, I mean. Sorry, mana. You know, they're all mana at the end of the day. Sir, are you impressed? Okay, fuck. Since we have another one, might as well. Okay. Okay. This guy can get some value. Forgotten Monument. Some sort of cave deck, okay. What do we need? We need blue, white, blue. Yeah. When this creature enters, search your library or graveyard for an artifact card with min value 2 or less. We don't really mind that. Like, oh, you want to have another one of these out? That's just gonna help me. Crystal Barricade, okay. Is he gonna use his treasure tokens to cast that? Telling you, man, people get so greedy with this stuff. We're gonna do 6. Hate that we're drawing this many lands, though. Almost considering going down to 23 lands because we have all these treasure tokens, but I think that'd be a mistake. He's considering, like, do I want to take all this damage? And he's going, yeah, I guess so. Alright, you prevent all non-combat damage. So that's going to prevent my ability, by the way. It's going to keep him up for blocking. Dude, people get... Why, bro, you just have to break... You have to break them, man. You have to break them. People get so greedy, dude. They really do. That's so funny. They're like, no, I really want to, like, kill this guy. So I think we get rid of a Hellkite. Ditch a... Floodmaw is okay. It's not, like, great. Burst is probably not great. Fire Magic's not great. Do we need to do the Annul? Because he's got a card that searches for artifacts, which makes me want to like really go heavy against them, but we kind of want him to do that. So I'm not really sure if we even need to do that. This might be okay. Didn't seem like he had things to target him either. He's very focused on his own strategy. Maybe we don't need the escorts. And we just go exercise just to make sure we had the removal against big guys if we don't get our rest in peace. That might be the case. Maybe just one. And then maybe a spell pierce. Just to really make sure we can counter stuff, counter big stuff. Like, you know, we really want to squeeze the... We just have to counter his stuff. Period. This looks good. We have a rest in peace and get lost. I like it. I guess we could play this. I don't know if I want this many. We need some other stuff. Maybe do this. Okay. This deck's weird. Do I need to do rest in peace? Is it necessary? Right now it's not, so I think I just do some damage. Hold up some counter spells and just counter his Simulacrum. Cause he's gonna have another one. Control enters, draw a card. Okay. That's interesting. That's pretty nice. Let's just get our value here. So we don't need double rest in peace. Get lost? But it makes this guy stronger. Maybe a... I should have just played the island. We have to just do this now. That sucks. I don't think he'll summon something back from his graveyard. 3 demo fields, jeez. Add 2... Yeah, we can get rid of you. I don't want you, like, getting a crap ton of mana. I just don't want this guy to keep growing, either. Doesn't use his get lost tokens, just wants to keep them. Makes sense. I think we just do this. And just, yeah, hold up. Double offer you can't refuse. We do win the race with our Hellkite. What's this? Mana value 4 or 5, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle. That's such an ugly card. Ooh, okay. So that's what we're gonna counter. It's gonna make his dude really strong, though. Yeah, it gets rid of the proper land here. Let's get a red. Okay, finally. Do we hold up a blocker? Because he's gonna grow, he's gonna get strong. Maybe we just counter, we just warp this guy in. Just so we can hit face and we can block. Just to get that 4 damage in now. I think we might need to... Generous Plunderer could do so much damage. He's got 1 color to work with. Copy, except it's a reflection. Okay, what does this do? This guy's deck is so strange. I think we kill him next turn. Right? Because we have Conqueror, a bunch of tokens. I kind of forgot Conqueror just doesn't allow him to even use the tokens. Good game. Heck yeah, let's go. What a strange deck, very strange. Yeah, I can't keep that. We can get rid of the Hellkite, I think. Nope. We probably lose. Instant speed. Okay. Think we gotta get rid of the escort. Well, that's good as a sign. It's not an instant badger. Ew, what is this? I hate these temple decks. So frustrating. So sadly we don't have crap to counter that stuff. We gotta discard the escort, I think. Okay, we have 3. Do we simply put our Conqueror down? Or do we hold up and get lost? I think we do this. We can get lost the next one. Draw a card for each shrine you control. Guess we just gotta get rid of that one. We can hold up an exhale, which owns him pretty hard. We actually kind of don't care. It's just that, yeah, I mean, honestly, it makes him to where he can't use another land. Yeah, I don't even care. And we can just use the Get Lost to destroy the Badger. Yeah, and another Conqueror just sounds like fun. Okay. Turns out it was the right move. Okay. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, 6, 9. Yeah, I mean we can just attack again. I forgot I couldn't use the... I keep forgetting my own treasure tokens are useless. Which right now is fine. We're doing way more damage to him with that ability. He's in a bit of a pickle, I think. And that's the land he plays. He's just at 2 mana. Yeah, so he gets a couple life off this. Let's see what we're at. We could do 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. So we actually just kill him next turn. Sorta. Not really. Actually, we don't, because he's gonna block us. Okay, well, that works. Okay, I miscounted. We're good. So we want these. We want that. And then maybe a Spell Pierce. Ditch the... Actually, Fire Magic is still decent. We could get 2. I don't know if we really want 3, though. Halkite's good. Nova Halkite is also good. This isn't great. Actually, a 2/4 is, like, pretty good to stop his stuff. S-Score is good. He does have Get Lost. Okay, what do we get rid of? Maybe one of these. Maybe a couple of those. Do we need, like, double Spell Pierce? Really? I don't think so. Flood Maw is not great. Counter with mana value 2 or less. That's only if we go first. It's too narrow. This looks decent. Our Conquerors are really strong. I do like this, though. This is more specific. I like it. It's the same thing. It's just doesn't give them treasure tokens, which is it is good. It's the safer play. So I guess we go on white. Do we? Maybe we go red. I think we go white. We could just get rid of the Badger. With 3 mana. We'll counter the next spell and then we'll do it. Okay, so he didn't get to use 1 mana, which is good. We could Plume Creed Escort, because we don't have any other targets for it. We could just do that to kill the Badgermole. May not be the worst idea in the world. Right now we just want to counter something. Stock up? We can let you stock up, I think. Okay, now this I don't want. So I think this, we just do that. And if we draw a Clarion, we do not. So we just have to do this. There, you get some dudes, I think, right? Tokens. Hellkite's kind of cool. That might be really, really good to just get rid of one of these guys early, because it might really be hard to do that later. I'm gonna do that. That might seem really weird. That might not be a good play. But I'm doing it because I think those tokens can get out of control. So let's just get rid of one of them. We're potentially stopping like an extra 4/3 damage. So I think it's good. Oh, he continually creates them. I did not know that. Okay, we stopped 5 damage. That is crazy. We should have just held up a counter spell. That is stupid. Wait, that's actually so dumb. Alright. Do we need to change anything? Maybe another fire magic? I don't know. Maybe we let him get away with too much. I think this is fine. I think it's fine. It's just... I think the Jeskai 3 mana card is just not good in this matchup at all. Maybe that was a keepable one. Alright, we gotta get rid of these guys. Actually, a fire magic may have been the play. I think we have to burst. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, if he get lost me, then it's just over. Do I need to just instantly wipe? I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna instant wipe, and because I'm just worried that he's gonna like get lost in my Conqueror the second he comes out. Okay. He didn't have another land. Okay, now that we actually have this, yeah, I'm not falling for that. Nice try. Okay, didn't have an answer, as far as I know. I think we should have dropped another Conqueror, because we can't even use our own treasure tokens. But I just want to, like, this is going to put the pressure on him. I'm so scared that he's going to get lost to me, just because I think I'm so lucky he didn't get a land. I'm so lucky. I was kind of hoping it would go over here. He wants his land back. He's like, alright, that's it. I need my land back. Is he really? That's crazy, man. So is he gonna just kill my Plunderer? Because that's all he can do if it's a fire magic again. Okay. Good game. I know, you got... The lands screwed him. We got luckier than he did. Poor guy. Poor guy. Okay, this is nice. Okay. We might want to not Generous Plunderer against this guy right now. Let's just slow him down a little bit. I want to make sure I can counter the enchantment that he's going to want to bring out. Okay, so he doesn't want to do it. Maybe we just demand answers, drop the Flood Maw. Man, Conqueror with the offer you can't refuse would have been really good, but we'll see. See how much he wants to use on my Plunderer. Deering tokens, so we don't want to deal with this guy. But we might want to get lost him. I think we want to get lost this guy. Let's go white. This guy can be a nuisance. I'm getting rid of him. He's got a lot of mana to play with right now. Oh no, he doesn't. Clarion Conqueror's still up. Wow, I totally forgot. I don't know why I got that mixed up. We could maybe want to do a fire magic, possibly. Seam Rip might be decent. Lightning Helix is pretty good. Let's do that, and then we do get rid of a Stormbrood. Ditch a Flood Maw is like okay. It can be okay. Maybe 2 of is fine. I think we get rid of 1. And then a couple of seam rips would be good. Let's just do that. Like, most of his stuff is probably going to be like that. And we ditch... Do we ditch 1 Hellkite? Or do we ditch a Plume Creed? A Plume Creed... Yeah, I think we ditch a Plume Creed because he didn't have it. We probably wanted to get rid of both, honestly. He didn't seem to have things that targeted my creatures. Like, he definitely does. We just didn't see it. Okay. Meticulous Archive. Cool. We're happy with that. We're quite happy with that. Let's do this. Lightning Helix. I might want to rediscover the way. Yeah, I think we rediscover the way. Let's do another counter. X is the number of creatures you control at power 2 or less. Do we really want to do another counter? We have 2 Clarions. Honestly, I'm kind of okay with this. Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. He'll spend 2 mana. If he doesn't get land, we kind of just win. And if we get like a burst or something, we give our dude double strike. Kind of nice. Let's organize our stuff. Okay. Alright. I think I do want to give him double strike, but it's really not that important. It's really not that important. Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to kill my River Regent. Yeah, if he kills my Conqueror, then we can counter anything that could kill my River Regent. Guess we win. Good game, sir. Oh, nice. Well, fair enough. think it matters, yeah. Okay. Another pretty clean game.